Hi YouTube, Engineer Boy 100 here. Welcome to part 3 of 3 of boost leak testing. This is the repair and installations phase. I've got some goodies down here on the desk to show you. Check them out. I have been testing for the last week or two to find all these boost leaks on this vehicle, and I found 2 leaks for sure, and I'm changing like 5 different things that I want to help ensure that there's no boost leaks when it's all put back together. So the first and the most important leak was the number 16 check valves. This guy right here. Here's the old one and here's the new one. This is what it sounds like when I blow through both sides. Turn around like this. Turn around like this. Blow straight through. This is a brand new one. This is what it should sound like. It should go through one side. Turn around, it should go. Should not go through. So yeah, this is definitely one of the major leaks. The other leak that I did find was actually between the throttle body and the IPD plenum. I can't say that. It messes up my tongue. There's a little gasket in between the two. This one right here, and it's all smashed, and we put some soapy water around there, and I got bubbles out, so I'll be replacing that. And that is the second leak. Now I'm also going to change the small check valves. I finally found both of those. Here's what they look like. Here's the old one, here's the new one. And I checked these, and they seem to work fine, the old and the new, but I'm just changing them while I'm in there. They're cheap, they're easy. There's one right up by the IPD plenum, and then there's a second one underneath the F pipe. If you're looking for those 2 check valves, the second one that I didn't find earlier is underneath the check valve. Now, I'm also going to be changing out my Venturi tube for my brake booster. I mean, you can't be too careful about brakes anyway. I tested the old and the new. They seem to work the same. Doesn't seem to be a problem with it, so I'm just going to change it to have a new one. Of course, DJ Marksy would have me put zip ties on everything, so I've got zip ties here, and I'm going to be zip tying away. I'm also going to change out my diverter valves, and there's a whole other video on those, but I've got these aftermarket diverter valves. I don't know the name brand. There's people who have already watched the other video on diverter valves, and they've asked me, what's the make, what's the model? I don't know. They never did post it in the listing that I purchased these. I just bought them based on the attributes and the quality. They're really well built. So I like them. Let's see how good they work. I probably should do another video after to see how good they work, but I think they'll work just fine. And I'm also going to change out my F pipe. This was actually donated by one of our Turbo 996 forum and Facebook group members donated this to me, so I really appreciate it. Thank you for that. And I'll be changing some of the tubes. These silicone tubes are reinforced. I got 1/2 inch and 3/8, and this should do for all of the main areas that I want to change out. And other than that, these are all of the issues that I found. Here are all the part numbers. See if that makes this a little bit easier if you can just see that. Here's all the part numbers of everything I'm going to be changing. The diverter valves are not on here, and I do not know how you can get these. Sorry. But other than that, that's what I'm going to do. So from here on out, we'll go on down to the car and all right, we've completed phase 1 of the install and repair. So these are the small check valves. There's one here, and there's one right over here. So we've done that, and we've also installed one of the diverter valves, and we'll install the other and the F pipe, but I wanted to keep it out of the way so that you can see the check valves. Next we'll do number 16 check valve. Okay, first phase of 3 of 3 boost leak test repair. Here is one of the little check valves, and you will notice that we used zip ties on both sides, and yes, I used white ones deliberately so they'd show up. we install one of the diverter valves. Here's the other little small check valve. And just before we put the throttle on, we'll be replacing this gasket. I wanted to catch that while we have this off. And next we'll of course be doing the number 16 check valve, the venturi, of course, and then eventually the Y pipe and everything else. But next up, we're going to go ahead and finish up with these diverter valves and our nice bright yellow F pipe and all that fancy cool looking stuff. All right, be right back. Here's a quick clip of the diverter valves before we install the F pipe. Man, don't they look good? Nice. I like them. And here's a quick shot with the F pipe installed. Here's a side-by-side comparison of the gasket that goes behind the throttle body. You can't tell much by looking at that, but look at them side by side. The old one is on the right-hand side here, old, new, and it is shrunken so much it looks like it's a smaller gasket. No wonder it was leaking. So it's a good thing we're changing that. Alright, got the little gasket installed. One quick note, there's a little alignment key on the bottom. Just make sure that goes on the bottom. And this thing sticks out a lot compared to the original. The original was flat up against the side. This one sticks out a lot. And that's why it wasn't sealing. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, number 16 check valve and the star of the show, and the one that I'm quite confident is responsible for the majority of the problems with my boost leaks, is right here. Right here. We got it installed, and hopefully we'll have boost. Next we installed the venturi right here, and you'll notice that if you look at my screws on my hose clamps, I orientate them so that later on, if I ever have to do this job again or change another issue, focus you there, there's positioned in a way where it's easy for me to reach them with my screwdriver. Just a tip. Next up, we're going to go ahead and install the throttle body. Notice I took advantage of this opportunity to go ahead and clean that up real good. Both sides. Hold it so they don't drop the screws out. I can show you the other side. Clean that up real good. And that's going to help with the accelerator response and just better running. So next up we're going to install. Okay, we got the throttle installed. One piece left. The old Y pipe. Once that's in, we can go ahead and raise the engine back up and take her for a drive. Hoo-wah! Okay, we're almost completely done. All of the boost leaks have been repaired. And here's a nice complete walkthrough of what we did. We'll just go from left to right. We installed the new F pipe and diverter valves, as you can see here. Diverter valves, F pipe. Then we replaced both of the small check valves. One of them is underneath the F pipe here, and the other is up close to the IPD plenum, and that will be right here. I can move this wire, you can actually see it. Then we replace the number 16 check valve, which is right back here on the left side of the IPD plenum. Then we changed the venturi, and we changed the gasket behind the throttle body here. We put zip ties on all of the connections, even on this N75 valve. And of course, there's another video where we actually repaired a broken wire for that wiring harness connection to the N75. And you just wiped it up a bit. And we can't wait to put the motor mounts back in, raise the engine back up, and give her a try. We'll look at the bar level on the boost gauge and see what we have. And I'm really excited to figure out whether or not I'm going to be able to keep myself under control with the excitement. Thanks for all the help from all the members of the Facebook group 996 Turbo. Thanks to DJ Markski, thanks to Garrett with boost tubes, and everyone else who helped and contributed and watches my videos on YouTube, Clint Hightower YouTube channel, Engineer Boy 100. And this was a fun project. So stay tuned for more, and thanks for watching.